Going to troubleshoot this lab step by step. As you can see, these are the basic pitfalls that I have highlighted as this lab is concerned, that are Inter-VLAN routing. Here it's not working. Let me prove. When I take this simple PDU, protocol data unit, then place it on my source computer, then destination on this VLAN, then check the progress. Failure. It has not worked. Let's check the IP status for this computer. Give it enable it to be DHCP client. It has not worked. It has received what we call a PIPA. Automatic private internet protocol. Internet private address. So this is the address that is self-assigned when the computer fails to locate the DHCP server on the network. When I check on the switch, I can see the switch, the first ports from port 1, first port 1 to port 9. They are hooked to VLAN 10. Then from there, port 10 to 15, they are hooked to VLAN 20. Let's check. Show running config. This is the command used to check the configuration, the current configuration done on the network device. When we do search, we can see the size of the configuration. It is 1490, 1490 bytes. Then this is the host name, central switch 1. Then you can see first Ethernet 01. It has been linked to or assigned to VLAN 10. Then 10 to 15. Then on VLAN 20. Nothing else configured. Let me show VLAN. Show VLAN. This is the command used in Cisco Packet Tracer to show or to confirm the available VLANs on the switch. You can see we've got these special VLANs. You can read about it. I will talk about it in the next coming video. Then we've got 20 here, VLAN 20, labeled finance, taking ports from port 10 up to 15, as I had just said. Then VLAN 10 administration, taking port 1 up to 45. Then the remaining ports are not having anything. For security purposes, I'll show you how to shut down those ports, because an intruder will use it as a gateway to attack our network. Let's proceed. Gig 0/2. This should be configured as a trunk port. When you click on this switch, this is the shortest way to confirm whether the port is a trunk port or not. You click on the switch, you go to configuration tab, then this is gigabit. The port is not yet configured as a trunk port, so it cannot pass traffic from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20. It cannot pass traffic, so it is still in access mode. You know what trunk port means, or what trunk port does in an Inter-VLAN routing setup? It is a gateway or a tunnel that allows the traffic from one VLAN to the other. So this is administration, VLAN 10. It's operating on this network. Then it is taking interfaces from first Ethernet 01 up to 9. VLAN 20, label finance, taking 192.168.20.0/24. When you see /24 means, let me check here. /24 means there are 254 usable IP addresses on this space. Or in terms of subnet mask, 24 means 255.255.255.255.0. This is class C private. So You can read about it. So that is it. I have confirmed the computers are not having IP addresses, specified the VLANs, then checked the trunk port is not yet configured. These are the issues that are making this lab not to work. The VLANs are configured correctly. The trunk port is not yet configured or is poorly configured because it is still in access mode. Then this router here. This is the engine for this setup. This interface gigabit 0/0, this one will act or should act as the main interface for the traffic from this VLAN and the traffic from this VLAN. And the exchange of the traffic between the two VLANs, it will be by the help of the trunk port here, which is not yet configured. So the traffic cannot pass from here to here. But it can work within communication between in a VLAN can work effectively, but across VLANs cannot work, not unless we've got layer 3 device here. So let me check the router, how this interface is configured. Let me hover on it. Interface gigabit 0/0 is not having an IP address. Good, because that is going to serve as the main interface. We cannot assign IP address on this interface either from this subnet or this subnet, but we will create virtual interfaces, what we call SVI, switched virtual interface. So this one, communication can't happen because there is only one SVI for VLAN 10, and VLAN 10 is operating on 192 on this address 192.168.10.0/24. But check how this SVI is configured. It is bearing the first IP address from the second VLAN, so that is mismatch in the gateways for the VLAN. So you can see one pitfall is wrong VLAN gateway. So the gateway for this VLAN, it has been given the gateway for this VLAN. Communication can't happen. Then one of them, the gateway for this VLAN is not yet configured. The trunk port is not configured. SVI not created. Let me confirm the DHCP pools. Show IP DHCP pool. Let me check the pool here. Pool administration for VLAN 20, for VLAN 10, sorry, for VLAN 10, the pool has been created here. You can see utilization is 100. Subnet size, it's having that total IP addresses there, 254, as I had explained earlier before. One subnet is currently in the pool, you can see. So the pool has been created, labeled administration, but when you come here, when you come up here, the pool administration, the name for VLAN 10, right? We expect it to the network to be 192.168.10.0/24, right? But when you check here, it is bearing the network for VLAN 20. That is wrong also. That is pitfall number 4, DHCP pools mismatch, as you can see. And there is no any other pool created here. So I'm going to troubleshoot this lab step by step until when I am on this computer here, I can ping this one, and also I'll be able to ping any computer on this particular two departments, that is finance and administration. So stay focused. Let me start with creating. As you can see, there is no also the interface VLAN. Let me add here 5 interface VLAN. Interface VLAN not created. So number 5, interface VLAN is down, as you can see. So the IP at the DHCP will only work if on this switch the interface VLAN, the VLAN 10 interface is up, and also VLAN 20 interface is up, and it is assigned an IP address from the specified network here. Same applies here. So let me check my VLANs here. Show VLAN. So the VLANs are well configured here. You can see 10 and 20. So 10 administration, then 20 finance. Okay, so next let me configure the trunk port gig 0/0. To configure the trunk port, I want to zoom this thing so that you can see well. Okay, enable to move from user mode to privilege mode. Config terminal, then interface gigabit 0/2. We describe the interface trunk port as that one, then no shutdown. We do not assign IP address on this interface because it is going to be our trunk port. Trunk port is an interface connecting the switch to the router, tunnel for passing the traffic between the VLAN. So from here, switch port mode, we specify the mode. There are only two. We've got these two types of modes. It's either access mode or dynamic. When I set dynamic, it will be negotiating between these two. You see, it will be negotiating between either access mode or trunk mode. So on this particular lab, I want to be sure that my port only works on only work as trunk port. So to do that, switch port mode, then we specify trunk. The moment I put here trunk, then my port comes up. It changes status to up. Okay. From there, then I specify this trunk is going to access which VLAN and which VLAN. Switch port trunk allowed. You can see VLAN. Then you put the word VLAN. Then you specify either you add all except. So VLAN 10, 20. You can see what I have done here. I have specified my VLAN 10 and 20. Then end. When I press enter, I go to privilege mode. Then I save my configuration. Now let us verify what I have just configured. Show interface. Show interfaces. That is gonna be gigabit 0/2. You can see this is the status of that interface. You can see the description here. So this is the MAC address. So it is working as trunk port. So I'm done on this switch. And saved my configuration. So this port now, it is able to pass traffic either from here to this point or from this point to this point. So the remaining section is creating pools here, DHCP pools for our respective VLANs, and creating switched virtual interfaces here. So let me start with, first of all, erasing this router. To erase the router or to hard reset the router, you go to, let me show you the steps. Enable. While in privilege mode, you write erase startup config. The moment you do that, then erasing the NVRAM, non-volatile RAM, file system will remove. I confirm. You can see it is initialized in geometry, then it's complete. Once you do that, you restart your router. It is going to lose every configuration that I had already configured it here. Because while I was configuring, I was moving the configuration from running configuration file to startup configuration file. So from this point, I put it no. So you can see the host name has changed to the default. Then show running config, host name, there is nothing configured here. You see the interfaces are just in their normal default status. So let me proceed to configure this router as it is needed so that my network can come up. Config a bit faster interface, gigabit 0/0, description, main interface for VLAN 10 and 20. From there, no shutdown. There is no IP addresses assigned on this interface. Then we exit. You can see now my interface is up. Those particular IP address that was there and the SVI for VLAN 10 that was wrongly configured, it's not there. So I'm starting afresh. So to create a sub virtual interface, you go to the main interface 0/0, then dot the VLAN ID. Let me start with the VLAN 10 here. I put it 10. You can see change state to up. So a switched virtual interface has been created. From there, you specify the protocol that is going to use this. In this case, I'm going to use what we call 802.1q. That is under IEEE standard. So encapsulation dot 10. Encapsulation means that traffic coming from this VLAN to the router, it will be wrapped that no one can get to understand what it entails. So encapsulation.1q, then the IP address. Always this IP address, it is the first IP address from this VLAN, and that one serves as the gateway that this particular VLAN constituents components can use to access the router. So that is 192.168.10.1.255. No shutdown. Then we describe VLAN 10 administration. So I'm done on that. I repeat the same for VLAN 20 0.0.20. Encapsulation.120, that is .20, the VLAN ID. It means that the protocol that is going to ensure that multiple VLANs communicate lies here. It is 802.1q. Here it is. Then we specify the IP address. This is the gateway for the VLAN computers. The gateway that for an individual VLAN, because we cannot assign an interface with the two different IP addresses. It can't work here. So what we do, we just create some virtual interface. Let us save our configuration. that is the host name, enable password, enable secret password. In my previous video, I explained the difference between enable secrets, then the password, and enable password, then the name of the password. So from there, let me write. To save, you can just write WR or write memory or copy running config to startup config, or a copy run start. Still it will work. Okay, so what I have done here, I have created some virtual interfaces, brought up this particular interface, then the remaining, now on this pitfall I have handled pitfall number 1, number 2, number 3. Now number 4 and 5 are the ones remaining. So to create the DHCP pools, config terminal IP DHCP pool, then the name of the pool, administration. You can put underscore VLAN 10, then default, the first IP address from that, this subnet 192.168, but we do not put the subnet mask here. So the subnet mask comes at the on the aspect of specifying the network. Then network, the container through which computers are going to source IP from, and check on how I write the network. We can give a common DNS for Google here. Then domain name, we can give it Netlabs, Netlabs Hub, the name of this channel. Okay, so I'm done. Let me exclude IP address. To exclude IP address, you use IP DHCP exclude. Then you specify the number of IP address that you want to exclude. I'm excluding the first IP because it is assigned as the gateway for the VLAN and the gateway for this pool. So to 168.10.89. Let it be 100 because the entire pool I have 254 IP addresses that I can use. So I'm done with creating a DHCP pool for VLAN 10, that is the administration department. Then I move to VLAN 20 DHCP pool, then finance underscore VLAN 20. As you can see, VLAN 20 is operating on 192.168.20.0. So default router is 192.168.20.1. Then the network, DNS, the same DNS, it can work. Domain name, because we just give it Netlabs Hub.com. Then exit. The next thing I to do is to exclude IP addresses. Let it start with 100. Then write, save our configs. So I'm done. I have created the pools here. To show the configuration, even I can just hover on this router. You can see we've got gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0/0.10. That is a small interface. It's like a loophole for that particular LAN to communicate through, so that it can reach the our network engine here, that is the router. Okay, so the next thing, I'm done with this pitfall number 4, DHCP pools mismatch or not configured. So the next thing is to bring up the interface VLANs to create enable. So you do that on the switch. On the switch, for you to master all these particular movements, you just have to master the user mode, the modes in the Cisco packet tracer, so that this mode, when it ends with the hash, that is privilege mode, when it has config in the bracket, that is global configuration mode, where majority of the network services are configured. When it is finishing with the greater sign, that is the user mode. Okay, so interface VLAN 10. You see it's up. Then I give any IP address from the pool, or I can just still give it one IP address, 192.168.10. Maybe let me give it 2. No shutdown description VLAN 10 interface. Let me save my config. Let me confirm. So I expect, let me prove, you see it has already received the IP address because I had already invoked it to their DHCP client. So this is not, initially it was not working, but right now it's working. You can see it is starting from exactly, it is taking IP from the same VLAN, and it is starting from 101 because I had to serve the first 100 IP addresses. This is the DNS, this is the gateway, and you can see DHCP request successful. So it's okay. This is how you troubleshoot inter-VLAN routing. And inter-VLAN routing in enterprise network happens whereby an organization has been partitioned in multiple departments, so that these departments, even though they are in separate, they are dealing with separate functionalities, they are still have to communicate to achieve the organization's objective. So you should understand this is the simulation that we do as network engineers in relevance to that. So this, I have already sorted this, this particular VLAN. So what about this? This one is also working because I have already configured pools, and you can see it is taking IP address from the exact network. You can see .20.0, you see .20.101 because I had to serve the first 100. So this is how you troubleshoot in the VLAN routing, and in real sense this is how you go down. You go down solving the issues in the enterprise networks, because this is just the same, because you will have the routers. Majority of the devices in most of the organization, they are just Cisco proprietary. Yeah, means they come from Cisco. So that is it. The remaining thing now is to verify. Let me now take my small PDU. One way to verify communication, you can take this, then put it to your source computer, and then I expect it to destination to be, you see, it's successful. Or we can ping, this one is bearing 104, this one is bearing 101. So I stand here and then I ping to ping 192.168.10. You see, the ISMP is pinging correctly, and you can see the statistics. The statistics says that packet sent is 4, then received 4, lost 0. Approximate round trip times in milliseconds. You can see when the milliseconds increase, meaning the downtime is about to happen, and it's, you see. So this network is happening. Communication is working effectively within this VLAN. Let's prove this section. This is 101. This is 104. I expect it to be so. Let me now ping. Now this is the finance department. You can see this is 20. It is working. It is working. Now, in the VLAN, it means multiple VLANs are aggregated together. So let me try communication from this section to this section. This computer is bearing, as you can see, 192.168.20.104. Then this one is bearing 192.168.10.101. So let me stand on this computer, be my source computer, and my destination to be one of the computers from the different VLAN. So let's prove. Ping destination computer, send my packets to this computer. Let's give it time. You see it's working. It's working. So I have achieved my objective of troubleshooting Inter-VLAN routing in Cisco Packet Tracer. This is one of the highly magnetic lab for CCNA students, for even network engineers in real environment, whereby you'll be coupled with issues involving multiple departments not communicating, and in real sense the organization is having just one router and multiple LAN switches, or one switch that has been segregated to serve these departments according to the size of the organization. So if you feel served and helped so much, please feel free to subscribe to Netlabs Hub, where such kinds of videos are always uploaded on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. That is three times a week as we learn. Thank you.